Hey, this is Scott from the Southview Farm. Today we're working on our New Holland 450 sickle bar mower. I had a video on this a couple months ago. It was right before hay season. We got it on the tractor, got it running, make sure it ran and everything. We used to cut hay. It cut about half of our hay field out here, but it did fairly decent, except for the I guess the blade on the knife, the very end blade was broke. I didn't have one to replace it with. It would cause the grass to bunch up on the end. We used it to cut our hay field. We cut about half the hay field with it before I noticed that the reason the grass kept bunching up on the end of the mower was because we had a blade that was broke out there. So I brought the sickle bar back here to the house, and I had another knife, entire knife, I guess is what you call it, in the barn. It was rusty and stuff, and I thought, well, at least it might be a little dull, but at least it's got all the blades. And so I took this knife out and I swapped the other knife in, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if there was grass underneath that knife where grass had bunched up and stuff. It doesn't fit right, but it wouldn't cut after that. And I can show you here. It's like the blades don't touch the ledger. I guess it's the ledger plate on the rock guards. It doesn't touch it, so it's like cutting with dull scissors. It just kind of chews the grass. It doesn't. And then when you get into tall grass, when you're cutting hay, belt starts slipping because it doesn't. It can't chew through it. And I don't know what the problem was, because after we found out it did that, I pulled the knife, or I think it pulled the knife that I put in there, pulled it out. I pulled the knife that we'd gotten out of the barn, I pulled it back out, put the original one I had back on, and I thought, okay, well now it should work. Went out there and it did the same thing. So I'm thinking that maybe when we took that out, that knife out, and we slid when we were going between the knives, we didn't clean all of that guide or that channel out, and maybe the knife's riding on grass and dirt and stuff that's in that channel, and it's holding it even farther off of the ledger plates. But I'll get the camera down here and show you. But I went online to, I think it's Webb's Cutting Components, and bought a whole kit to redo this, the entire cutting bar on this mower. And it came with new rock guards, which these have the ledger plates that are cast into the rock guards. It came with all the new hold downs, the wear plates. I even bought an entire new knife with all blades on it. It's also bolt and nuts to hold the blades on, so you're not having to do rivets and stuff like that. We're going to try that out. We're going to put all that together today, and we're going to see how this thing cuts. I got a bunch of Johnson grass out here at the edge of the hayfield that's starting to seed up. I want to get it cut down. The hayfield's not really ready to cut. But I want to knock that Johnson grass down before it starts throwing its seed everywhere. So this here we're going to take this knife out of here. There's a little door on the very back of this thing right back here. It's just a 1/4-20 bolt that holds that door on. You got to remove that, and then you've got this bolt that runs across here that need to remove to remove this knife off of here. I think it's called a knife. I may have my terminology wrong, but trying to keep my hands out of the way on the camera on this video. Last couple of videos I've done, I've had my hands in it the whole time. People's probably like, you idiot, get your hands out of the way so we can see what in the world you're doing. Either my hand's in the way or my head's in the way. Hey, welcome to part 2 of our video. So we had a little stopping point on our last video when we were trying to rebuild this head, cutter head, and the problem was they missed a part in our kit. So the rock guards they sent us like 15 dual rock guards, which we only needed 13 dual rock guards with 2 rock guards to each piece. And then we needed the one single. So I called. I got this stuff from Web Components. Not advertising for them. Not. I mean, I paid for all the stuff. It's pretty expensive. I called them and they picked right up. Didn't have to hold. The guy sounded very knowledgeable on the phone. And he said, "Well, they must have messed up. They got the warehouse must have messed up or something. You're supposed to get a half of a rock guard, which would be a single rock guard with the kit." And I said, "Okay." One of the other issues was he said he would get that right out to me. One of the other issues was the New Holland came with 9 wear plates and 9 hold downs. Well, the kit that I ordered, which was supposed to be a full rebuild kit for a New Holland 450, only came with 7 hold downs and 7 wear plates. So I asked about that. They said, "Well, New Holland overbuilds their sickle by their equipment." He said, "You only need 7, trust me." And I said, "Well, that changes the spacing from the original cutter bar." And he said, "Yeah," and he told me how to space it. And he said it'd be fine. So I waited for a week or so. As you can tell, I've gotten a haircut and everything. I went to my beautician and told her I wanted a front row. And of course, she said, "What's a front row?" I said, "Well, that's a haircut so good you got to sit on the front row of church on Sunday morning so everybody can see it." So she got my haircut, my beard trimmed up. But anyway, I never received the rock guard. So I called Monday, and this is Thursday, Monday evening, and they picked up the phone. Didn't have to hold, which is great. I don't like to hold. And they said that they couldn't find where they'd shipped out the part I needed. He said, "But that's okay." I talked to a different guy. He said, "That's okay." He said, "Just use one of your old ones." So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to set this up, use one of my old rock guards until the other one gets here. I kind of waited till later in the week, hoping that it would get here. I asked them for tracking. They said, "Well, we don't know if we can get you tracking." I don't know. So hopefully everything works out good. I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get. It said on the website it says that you'll get the full kit to rebuild a cutter head. Of course, it doesn't come with the swath board or the ledger plate that's down here on your shoe. I expected that, but I expected to have the right parts. And if this was built with 9 hold downs and 9 wear plates, I kind of expected the product to have that. I don't have a whole lot of experience with these, so I don't know. But anyway, we're going to try to put the rest of this together tonight. We're going to use one old piece, a single rock guard down here. They said to place it towards the shoe until our new one got here. I was kind of hoping they would get here so we could. I don't want to take this thing apart and do it a couple times. I want to do it once. So, but we're going to try to cut hay. This is Thursday. We're going to try to cut hay tomorrow evening, Friday, and try to get all our hay done. This is our second cut this year. Try to get it all done this weekend. So let's get started, and we're going to go ahead and start putting the rock guards on, and we're just going to hand tighten them, and get the I call it the knife. I don't know what the proper name is. Back in it, and then tighten everything up and go from there. So let's get it started. So this is what we did here. I didn't show it all on video, but we lined up the rock guards. These are your rock guards. They're dual rock guards. The original rock guards were just a single, but these are dual, where you got 2 bolts that holds them. And what they told me at Webb's was to skip the first one. Don't put a, this is your hold down, and then you've got a wear plate underneath it. Skip this first one. Start out here with your wear plate and hold down. You can kind of see here in the rust and the paint, this is where the old hold down and wear plate was located. There was one here, there was one here, and they only skipped, New Holland only skipped 1 bolt. So we skipped the first bolt here, set 2, then we skipped 2 bolts, and that made it line up pretty well. We're getting ready to go down here and check. This is the, like I said, this one originally had 27 rock guards, and they sent me, either they got the wrong part number on their website, but anyway, I didn't get what I needed. I needed a half, because these are, like I said, dual, 2 rock guards cast, 1 piece with 2 rock guards on it. I had to use one of my old ones. And what we did was we just hand tightened all the rock guards, the wear plates, and the hold downs. We just hand tightened all the bolts, and then we slid the, I call it the knife. I'm probably using the wrong terms, but we slid the knife through the end here with the shoe, and we tightened our bolt down here on our arm right here. We tightened that down, and then we started tightening down all of the bolts that doesn't have wear plates or hold downs on them. We started tightening all those and pushing the rock guards up next to it, next to your cutter bar, tightening all those down. And then we just used our belt. Roger helped me. He pulled the belt, make sure that everything was moving smoothly, while I went through and bolted the tightened up the hold downs, because some of the hold downs, it would tighten it down too tight, and you couldn't move the knife back and forth, by hand. So then we'd have to take a screwdriver and pry up on these hold downs. Once we got all the hold downs tightened down, and this was moving freely, then we went back through and adjusted. These are a universal hold down. We went back through and adjusted. When you tighten this bolt down here, it pushes down and tightens up this hold down. We went through here and tightened those down. And then we used this ledger plate is not like the original one. The ledger plate on the original one was riveted on. The ledger plate on the original one was riveted onto the rock guard. These are cast into it. And the guys at Webb Components, Cutting Components, told me that there need to be 10,000 to 15 thousandths between the blade and the ledger plate. So we went through there and checked all that. There's a couple that are a little tight, but I don't know how we can't, especially here on the end on this older stuff out here by the swath board. It's a little tight. But we just oiled it up with a little WD-40. I'm going to put some motor oil on it here later, just to get things running smooth. But I think we're going to take it out and try it out. Took us a long time to get this back together. I had a lot of questions and stuff that I had to reach out to Webb Components. They were really well about answering questions and stuff. But we had to get our hay cut this weekend, as what we're shooting for. Have to do it. But we're getting ready to go try this thing out. If you like these kind of videos, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe button always helps out the channel. So hit that subscribe button. If you like these kind of videos, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time on the Southview Farm.